And here they are, here in Tier 2. 5 red lights on here in round 3 in Belgium. SSR Zampa will lead us away from pole. Who can get a good start as everyone seems to have gotten away cleanly. Zampa down into turn 1. Side by side he goes with the Ferrari! As the Sauber of Gunnar absolutely... What is happening here? What was that? What did I just witness? As the Sauber of Gunnar went absolutely flying. Stephen Beecham now on the rear of Zampa. Lime on the outside of Zampa as well. It's 3 wide down. The Camel straight. Lime on the outside. He gets through on both of them. What an overtake from Lime. Down the Camel straight. Gets a double overtake down the Camel straight. As there's a couple of drivers battling at the back here. So much action throughout this first lap already. Crimson goes side by side with Ty Clear. Ty gets back through into P5 as they head down the hill into Pouon. But Lime leads the opening race as Infrajack now on the outside. As so many drivers leaving the road at Pouon here. Lanky on the outside of Cthulhu. Side by side they go now. On a big wheel bang between Lanky and Cthulhu as D. Summers now going to get through on the inside of the Mercedes of Lanky. Oh, and who's that washed off there? That's Creakery off into the gravel. And it's been an absolutely hectic start here as Lanky gets back through on D. Summers as they charge now down to Blanchimont. And Lanky gets through as Ellis battling with Infrajack as well here. Oh, and the Alpine of Cthulhu. As what's happened here? What has happened here? Lanky and was that Sci-Fi? I'm not even quite sure what happened there. Absolute carnage. They completely missed the final corner. What the hell happened there as D. Summers now with DRS on Cthulhu side by side. They go down the Camel Straight. Lanky looking for a move as well here as they go all the way down the Camel Straight. D. Summers still on the outside of Lanky. Side by side they go and D. Summers going to get through around the outside. Contact between the Alpine as Scones now battling with Sci-Fi Megahype. And Scones gets through now as Dubsy looking for an opening on Sci-Fi Megahype and a brave move there from Dubsy to get through, which opens the door to Jimmy Dwyer. Jimmy Dwyer now also down the inside as well. As Creakery watching this battle along, Sci-Fi Megahype goes side by side with Jimmy Dwyer. And Sci-Fi had to back out there, which allows Jimmy Dwyer through into P15. A reminder, all the drivers inside the top 16 score points. So an important battle here. As Ollie Bean on the inside of Blanchimont side by side. So risky to go through there as we get horrible camera angles as they head down to the bus stop chicane now. Side by side and Ollie Bean gets through on Sci-Fi Megahype. Going a little deep at bus stop but gets on through. As we head up Rouge and Radion. I think Ty does not have DRS. Which should allow TJ to get comfortably heading out down the Camel Straight. And TJ up into P6. Reserving in the Red Bull today. Gets ahead of the Ferrari. As Crimson and Daddy Chill battle, and Crimson sends it too deep, allowing the Sauber to get back through again. But as they head through No Name side by side, they go a little wobble from Daddy Chill out onto the gravel. Bit of a contact between, as Lime picks up a 3-second time penalty, as Daddy Chill and Crimson go side by side through Pouon. But Lime, a 3-second time penalty here on lap 4. If Zampa plays his cards right, stays inside DRS range for the remainder of the race, Zampa could have this win in the bag. Still having a decent race despite that 3-second time penalty as Ollie Bean picks up a 3-second time penalty. And Lanky on the inside of D. Summers side by side. They go through Lacombe. Lovely move there from D. Summers as Lanky looking for the switchback. The Red Bull of Infrajack poking his nose in there trying to find an opening. And TJ following Daddy Chill. Daddy Chill is going to probably lose both positions here as TJ may have picked up a bit of a warning there because he had to leave the track. They're not quite sure what line Daddy Chill was going for there as TJ retakes the racing line. Crimson looking for a move through Lacombe, unable to get ahead as Dubsy now on the inside of Cthulhu. Side by side they go down the Camel Straight. Cthulhu still there. Dubsy breaks later and gets ahead of the Alpine. As Zampa has got ahead of Lime. Lime in very, very early. That is very surprising. I didn't realise that worked. you found it, Christian. As Lime now on the outside of Scones. Is Scones letting him through? No, Scones giving his teammates some work through Blanchimont. Not a lot of team play happening here. As Lime does get through. As we see Lime now on the inside of Factory. Lime going to get ahead into P6. And Lime in the Aston Martin. Lovely move on the Haas. He does the front right end plate as Lime going to go for a late risky move on the inside of the chicane. And what a bold move that was from Lime. An absolutely spectacular move from the Aston Martin driver. Balls of steel here as Lime going to try and get ahead of D Summers. D Summers is going to try and defend this down into Lacombe. And Lime gets firmly ahead before the braking zone. Zampa has nothing to do. And Stephen Beecham gets ahead of Zampa now. And this is not what Zampa needs. Possibly Stephen Beecham and Zampa both have the pace to catch Lime, but they don't want to be squabbling over positions here while they both try and catch Lime. The Sauber of Daddy Chill, who does have damage here, will Stephen Beecham go for the move in front of Pouon. Stephen is going to go on the inside of Pouon and get ahead now. Does Zampa know that the Sauber has damage here? He just about gets ahead. Risky move there from Zampa as well. Gets ahead now of the Sauber. Is in the panic mode because of his mistake. And Zampa now going to look on the outside of the Ferrari. Side by side they go into Lacombe. And Zampa does get ahead. And he now has 1.7 seconds to get caught to Lime. Does Zampa have the pace to get caught to Lime here? We will see as Crimson now on the inside of Lanky. Finding his way back up the field as TJ picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help TJ's race. As Raheem now on the inside of Ollie Bean. Side by side, the Sauber and the Mercedes go. Bit of wheel banging between Raheem and Ollie Bean, and they both just about survive there. Zampa does have the 2-lap fresher hards. But can Zampa catch Lime? And Zampa's around at turn 1! I don't believe it! Zampa's spun at turn 1! And he's thrown it away! Zampa here on lap 16 has thrown it all away. I do not believe it. On the rear, we also seen Lanky battling with Factory in the bus stop as D Summers and Scones battle out of turn 1. Down the Camel Straight should surely get ahead of D Summers unless D Summers is running lower wings. But I think Scones may just have it round the outside. Oh, he does leave the space for D Summers, but D Summers tags the rear of Scones, opens the door to TJ, who's on these fresher inters. The Camel Straight out of Radion. Can the Williams get back through on the Ferrari? The Ferrari didn't defend the inside, which opens the door to the Williams back on the inside again. And D Summers going to outbreak the Ferrari as the Ferrari of Ty Clear looks for a move back through again. We can see Scones on the rear of TJ as well. Ty trying to find a way through, but D Summers parks his car on the apex. Also looking very strong here as Ty Clear now going to choose the outside of D Summers. Blanchimont, very risky move as the Ferrari and the Williams go side by side. Ferrari on the outside, Williams on the inside as it turns into the reverse for the bus stop chicane. Side by side they go as they head through the final corner. Ty Clear going to look for the switchback on the Williams as they head out of the final corner. But I don't think D Summers has DRS on this lap. And now the Ferrari of Ty Clear may get through on D Summers. D Summers with no DRS to defend. And Scones may have been helping him for a couple laps now, but now it may be all she wrote as Ty Clear now on these fresher mediums gets ahead. Stephen Beecham to reclaim that P2. A reminder that if Lime picks up another penalty, Stephen Beecham, who is just teetering on that 6-second threshold, as Factory in for inters. I must say, lads, I've got my hand out of the commentary box and I can't feel anything. Can't feel it spitting at all. Can Zampa catch Stephen Beecham as they charge now down to the bus stop chicane? As there's a yellow flag out, probably for Jamie Dwyer, as Zampa now on the rear of Stephen Beecham. And can he find a way through at bus stop? Zampa now on the outside of Stephen Beecham. Side by side they go into the final corner. Bit of contact between the Ferrari and the Williams. And Zampa may just about get through. Meanwhile, Lime wins in Belgium. It's a drag race to the line. And Zampa gets P2 here in Belgium. Just ahead of Stephen Beecham as they were battling ferociously up to the line. Meanwhile, Crimson will come across in P4 ahead of TJ, but TJ will lose out to Ty Clear. But Scones, who dropped back from Ty, may not get inside the threshold of TJ, just about misses out as D Summers finishes ahead of Lanky. And next it's in for Jack, Daddy Chill, and Dubsy will jump Daddy Chill. Yeah, it is rain here on the final lap as we see Ellis coming around the final corner with Dubsy, who jumps all the way up to P10. And there you have it, Lime wins for the second time this season here in Belgium, as Zampa finishes just a 10th ahead of Stephen Beecham. Meanwhile, Ty Clear would move up to P4 because of Crimson picking up a 5-second time penalty after contact with Gunner earlier on in the race. And let's have a look at what that's done to the standings. Stephen Beecham still leads with his 3 consecutive podiums, but Lime on the charge after picking up 2 wins already here as Zampa overtakes Ty Clear. It seems like that top 4 has started to break away from the rest of the field, but who will win the championship we will find out as the season progresses. Next time we head to the Netherlands for round 4 in the Tier 2 calendar. Make sure to stay tuned. I've been WHF. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.